Go Kevin. Go Christian. Come on. We got Corey with a 17.6. Steve with a 17.1 takes the lead. Tim Capro with 17.1. Chris Lamont with 17.0 in the lead. So we got Chris, Steve, Tim, Troy, Kevin. Looking for Chris. There's Chris James. Got Chris. Tim takes the lead with Steve, Chris, Troy, Kevin, and Chris. Tim with a 16.5, Steve 16.8, Troy 16.6. Chris with an 18.5, Kevin 18.4, and Chris James 16.9. Guys are an 18.503 pace. Tim's in the lead, followed by Troy, Chris, Steve, Chris, and Kevin. Tim turned to 17.1, Troy with a 16.7. Looks like Troy's going to take the lead with a 16.2, followed by Tim, Chris, Steve, Chris, and Kevin. Steve jumped back up to third with a 16.9. Troy's on an 18.503 pace. Looks like they're banging doors out there. You're racing the clock, guys. You're racing the clock. Tim's in the lead. Now Troy jumped back in the lead. Troy with a 19.4, followed by Tim with an 18.4, Steve with an 18 flat, Chris with a 22.7, Kevin 23, and Chris Lamont with an 18.5. Looks like he's off the track though. Tim in the lead, followed by Steve, Troy, Tim, Troy, and Steve. Tim's on an 18.511 by himself. Troy with a 17.504 and Steve with a 17.505. Chris James 16.510 base. Tim turned 16.4, Troy with a 16.3, Steve with a 16.9. Only one on an 18 lap pace now is Tim Capel, an 18.509. Got Tim in the lead with a 17.9, Troy with a 16.1, Steve with a 16.7, Chris with a 17.1, Kevin a 19.1, and Chris Lamont looks like he's off 2 laps. Tim's still in the lead, followed by Troy, Steve, Chris, Kevin, and Chris. Tim on an 18.509, Troy bumped up to 18.514, Steve with an 18.516 base. Tim's still in the lead with a 16.5, followed by Troy 16.4, Steve 16.8. Nobody with a 15-second lap so far. Troy looks like he's bumped up in the lead on the 18.512 pace, followed by Tim, Steve, Chris, Kevin, and Chris. Troy with a 17.8, Steve with a 17.3, Tim comes back with a 17.3. Tim and Steve are less than a tenth of a second apart for second. Chris is in fourth, Kevin in fifth, and the other Chris is out. Troy on the 18.511 pace turned to 16.1, that's his fast lap of the qualifier. Followed by Tim with a 16.2 and Steve with a 16.4. Those 3 drivers are all on an 18 lap pace. Troy's down on 18.509, Tim 18.513, and Steve with an 18.514. Chris in fourth with a 22-second lap. He's on a 16 lap pace, and Kevin's on a 15 lap pace.
1 minute left.
Less than a minute to go. Troy's still in the lead with a 17.5, followed by Tim with a 16.2. Steve with 25-second lap. Everybody seems to be getting together out there. 45 seconds to go. Troy still on an 18.510. Bumped it down 18.509. Tim's in second, 18.511. Steve's all the way down to the 17 lap pace now. Chris is on a 16 lap pace. Kevin's on a 15 lap pace. Got Troy, Tim, Steve, Chris, Kevin, and Chris. Troy with a 16.7. Tim 16.6. Steve 17.0. Got 10 seconds to go, guys. Troy and Tim are less than a second apart now. Tim's on an 18.509. Troy's on an 18.508. Troy lost the lead. Tim's now in the lead. When I call your name, you're done.
Car 207.
Troy, you're done. Everybody else, you're on. Tim, you're done.
Car 407. Car 307.
Kevin, you're done. Steve, you're done. Chris, you're done.